All right. Well, hello, everyone. If you are
Hello.
indeed hearing me right now, that means Yuma has put session zero on the interwebs, which I'm going to warn you
Yes.
people now that session zero isn't necessarily play. We're just defining the character today. Nothing
Yes.
too strenuous.
Yeah, and it's
Um,
just a few I guess more context in the thought process behind what went into character creation. If you're new to masks, I guess, then maybe which I hadn't heard of this before you mentioned it. So, I guess everyone would be new to masks.
mhm.
Yeah.
Well, the beauty of this system is it's very easy to play, very easy to teach,
Mm.
and it really encapsulates superheroes well, but a specific brand of superhero. We're talking like Teen Titans, Young Justice, that sort of vibe.
Yeah.
Um, you can do like adult superheroes, but it usually stays best played when you're doing teens or like early 20s is usually
Sure.
the sweet spot there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but Yuma, I understand that you had a character concept. Would you care to share it before we dive into things like playbooks and all that?
Yeah. So the idea that I had was that I don't. I guess it would be Yuma still. Like I wasn't sure if it should still be named Yuma, but the idea was that she would be. So this is in a world where there's a lot of destruction and buildings get demolished all the time because of superhero fights and things like that. I was thinking maybe she could be one of the crew that builds buildings back up, but then slowly starts to learn of ways that she could be the hero herself. And so it would be something like whether it's like she has a glue power or she has the ability to just fuse two objects together, or if she actually has like some kind of sticky substance, or even if it's like partially destruction, like oh she can cut things, and
Hmm.
or like break things, and then the other one allows her to fix things. I think that would be like a cool place to explore.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right, I'm just taking notes here. Okay,
Sweet.
so let's delve into that a little bit.
Sure.
So, and this is just me spitballing. We don't have to go with this, but we could do something where your powers, as you said, are sticking and separating things, from one another.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, and there's a few ways we can go about it. Of course, we can use the glue. The glue's an idea. But we also can do the cheeky thing and be like, oh, it's quantum. Everything works on quantum.
Sure,
Because,
yeah. I mean, that sounds
yeah,
sick. Like almost like things are magnetized together, or things are just like pulled together by a mysterious force. Yeah.
yeah, there you go.
Yeah, and almost kind of like I imagine that like the realization of power, like the very cool ultimate version of this is like almost like Lego Movie Master Builders, where she can just like grab a bunch of things from her surroundings, and then like break them apart and build them back together as she needs for whatever she wants to make.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, making a note of that. So
I
there's
think that's
actually a very cool thing that this does, and we might be jumping ahead a little bit,
sure.
but there is a something called a moment of truth in this
Yes.
system. And for anybody who doesn't know, a moment of truth is kind of like me giving Yuma the GM powers for the rest of the scene.
Whoa.
So it's one of those things where, and we'll go over this in a moment, but basically you have a chance to unlock your moment of truth, but you don't have to use it right away. You can have it unlocked, and then you just wait for the opportune moment to go, yes, I'm realizing my potential. I'm realizing that what I'm doing is right, et cetera, et
Mm.
cetera. And as I said, you become the GM for a moment.
Do those moment of truth moments kind of like, I guess, conclude a character's like self realization? Are they like, do they retire after that? Or what's the like, aside from like a climactic narrative, what's the like building past that?
So the good news is that even if you use your moment of truth, it's not necessarily the end of the character.
Oh, great.
What tends to happen is there. Let me see if I can find it in the PDF real quick.
Sure.
But basically, there is a variety of different ways you can upgrade your character, and
Mm.
one of them is your moment of truth.
Mm.
What ends up happening is you can unlock it a second time. You can change playbooks, or you can retire and start a new character. So there's definitely ways to go after you unlock your moment of truth. And I guess I'll just say this now: the way you advance as a character is by failing rolls.
Oh,
Hmm.
a
So
failing rolls.
anytime you fail a roll,
Uh-huh.
you get to mark what is called potential. And once you get
Oh.
5 potential, you get an advancement.
What? That's cool. Okay, I didn't read that far into it. I got up to like page 50 and then I kind of was like, "Oh, now it's like read the skip to whichever handbook felt like, but I didn't catch that part." It's so sweet.
Hmm. Yeah. So it's kind of one of those things where you're failing forward. And very similar to what we did in Avatar, it's the same basic principle where 7 to 9 is kind of like a weak hit on a
Mhm.
move where it's like, okay, you did it, but and a 10 and above is a full hit or a yes
Mm.
and if you roll under a 7 or a 1 to 6, that's called a miss, and that is a no but. So there's no ands, there's no buts, if that makes any sense.
So no, and you I see. So no end meaning like if I tried to eat a burger and it's like no you don't eat a burger and you got ketchup spilled on your face.
Right,
But and
yeah,
then
there's
no
nothing really
but
like
would
that.
be like no but you had a hot dog instead.
Yeah,
Okay.
something like that.
Something like yeah. Oh, so the range of those is this on the sheet here? No, it doesn't look like it, right?
So if you actually look in the chat,
Uh-huh.
if you look, it actually is going to be, once we set up your sheet, the sheet will handle 99% of what you need to click.
Great.
And it does all the things you need to do. And even if you were to say, look at your basic moves,
Mhm.
you can pop out that window, by the way, top right of the character sheet where it says pop out. Makes it
Okay.
easy to capture.
Where did I get
But you can expand the moves and it tells exactly what the move does. It gives you choices, and it's just a really good resource. This is why we're using Foundry, because
Mm.
Foundry is amazing.
Oh, okay. Great.
Yeah.
I am trying to find my character. Ah, here it is. Yuma's character. Ah, yeah, gotcha. And then pop out. Aha. Oh, I should make this a separate scene thing too.
Mhm.
Okay, so I got this one to be the chat. All right. And then this one is the main scene. And then I will have my character sheet. Okay. Nice.
Awesome. I look
Sweet.
forward to seeing it eventually.
Eventually. Alright.
Oh, Lord. But let's move on to Playbook, because I think you've had a chance to go through most of them. Which ones caught your eye?
So I will say I didn't read all of them. I went through the what was it? The not the first one that was not the protege one. Sorry, I'm scrolling through it right now.
You're good.
What is it? The Beacon.
Okay.
So Beacon was probably the one that caught my eye the most. And
Hmm.
because it seems like they have a little bit of a weaker story or weaker set of things, and then they grow into it, but they are like, they're a hero because they want to be. Let me see the actual page 90, and then Protege was the other one, 138. So let me scroll to 90. La, 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 la. Here we go.
So right off the bat, I'm
Mhm.
looking at Beacon here. And the beauty of Beacon is you get 4 drives to mark at the start of play. And when you fulfill a marked drive, you cross it out and you have a chance to get advancement, to clear a condition, take influence. But basically, what this means is this is another way to define your character. And if you take a look on page 92 of the full
92.
PDF, there's a big list of drives that you can pick from.
Kiss someone dangerous. Okay.
Mhm.
Yep. Reject someone who tells you you shouldn't be here. Outperform an adult hero. Yeah, these all sound like drive a fantastical vehicle. Break up with someone. Punch out a teammate. Awesome. Help a teammate when they most need you. Oh, tell someone your true feelings for them. So dramatic. I love it.
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
And you get
And
4 of those things.
oh, okay. So choose 4 of them. When all your 4 your mark drives are struck out, choose and mark 4 new drives. So these would be like my goals, and I have to fulfill all of them in order to get them.
In order to satisfy the change playbooks, retire, or become a paragon,
I
yeah.
gotcha.
Honestly, when it comes to mask games, they don't tend to get that long, but it is there in case we forget that far.
Okay. I think it would be cool. Oh, do you want me to choose them now? Because I can take a look and
Well,
just.
I mean, we're just exploring options right now.
Oh, sure,
Nothing's
sure,
set
sure.
in stone. But I did want to bring the drives to your attention because I think those are really cool.
They are really cool.
If you also look at the beacon move, same page, you get to pick 2 of these moves here. So, for example, if you picked Come On Lucky, we could have Not Daigo to be a thing.
Oh, yay, not Daigo. I would love to have definitely not Daigo on my team. Oh. If your pet ever gets hurt, treated as taking a powerful blow. Oh, man, that sounds great. I would love to have that because it's almost like bringing back the Pokemon TTRPG, but like to a smaller extent. Yeah, won't let you down. Pretty much a superhero. When you bring up your superhero name to someone important, you're for the first time roll savior on a hit. They've heard of you. Okay, so this is for like influence and kind of like the notoriety, right? Okay. Always picking up new gear. Keep yourself in the game. Whenever you pick up a new piece of gear, you can write an ability if this line is empty. Cool. Choose 2. So definitely would want the Come On Lucky one. When you scope out a person, roll mundane. What's my best way in and out? Between straight up creeping or no powers, not nearly enough training. No powers, not nearly enough training sounds interesting to be able to like equip new tools and have that become a new ability.
Yeah.
What do you think?
So, let me say here. So if it were me, and again, I play differently than you probably want to play, but this is what I would pick. I would pick Come On Lucky because small companions are amazing.
Yeah.
I would also actually pick Suck It Domitian or Domitian. I never know how to say that word.
Oh, yeah. When you stand strong while dramatically under fire, roll savior instead of danger to directly engage a threat. Let me look at my savior numbers here. Oh, +2.
Yep,
Wow.
you would start at a +2 savior. Whereas your danger would be -1, so it would be basically saying, now I'm rolling savior instead of my -1.
That's useful. I see. Yeah, I feel like that would be very useful. Stand strong while dramatically under fire. I guess it depends on how often that happens, right?
Up to you. I mean, the beauty of masks is it can be all fantastical fights. It can be the interpersonal drama between you and somebody else. It can be a large variety of superhero stories. It's whatever you are most interested in. I will tailor things to.
Got it. Yeah. I think that's useful. Suck it, Domitian?
Okay.
Dalmatian?
Yeah, there you go. Suck it, Dalmatian. There you go.
When
Cruella de
you
Vil
stand
over
strong
here.
dramatically while dramatically under fire. So, I guess what's an example of what dramatically under fire looks like?
So,
Yeah.
to paint a quick scene, let's imagine that you're in the ruins of something that you're rebuilding, and Black Lightning, one of the supervillains of the day,
Sure.
comes by and she's got you or somebody else trapped behind some rubble,
Mm-hmm.
and she's throwing bolts of lightning that are, almost like umbral black as they sort of crackle in the air, and she's throwing these bolts at you.
Mm-hmm.
And you're literally under fire because these bolts are just going boom, 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 boom.
Mm. I see. So then I would be trying to stand strong against that. And then
Mm-hmm.
instead of rolling, oh no, I am in danger, I am rolling, I will save everyone and myself.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's useful. I think that's great. I guess the other one, straight up creeping, would be okay. If what's my best way in and out? What happened here? Reason. If I have specific questions, but I also feel like, generally speaking, if I just ask questions, like, aren't am I not allowed to like? Are you not allowed to ask questions in this?
No. The
Yeah.
beauty of the system is it's meant to be a facilitation of the
Right.
collaborative storytelling element,
Cool.
where you could roll for assessing the situation, which is a basic move,
Mm-hmm.
which is kind of those same questions that move you're looking at as,
Mm-hmm.
but it's one of those things where you don't need to hold yourself to those questions. Like if you have a different question that you want to ask,
Mm-hmm.
totally valid, totally real. But sometimes we don't need to do the whole rolling for the move because it's an obvious answer, or it's an answer that we come to as a group, if that makes any
Mm-hmm.
sense.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I like this book, I guess playbook. And I like
Okay.
this these options. You can expect NPCs to tell you don't really belong here. I think that matches with the character idea that I have. Ultimately, your characters are all about their drives. Those give you objectives, things to aim towards. Um, you have abilities. You can unleash your powers to do crazy things. Yeah, I feel like this is kind of where I I was imagining this character to kind of land socially,
Hmm.
like kind of underestimated, and people's expectations are like, oh, you are just one of the cleanup crew. You're not supposed to be on the stage. You're not supposed to be the hero that goes on TV or anything like that.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Um,
I'm just making notes here.
oh, great. And then I will read this a little bit while you're reading notes. No powers and not nearly enough training. Just pay attention to gear. I don't really want to do that. And great ways to flag cool stuff you can use. Oh, I mean, that's kind of interesting. For a straight up creepin', like, if the evolution of those powers are kind of like, okay, I want to see what I can use around here to build, like, I don't know, a crossbow, like a makeshift
Hmm.
crossbow. Is that a situation where this straight up creeping move would like assist me in that?
Yeah, so to paint another picture, let's
Mm-hmm.
say that you're walking down the street, you know that a superhero fight's about to break out, and you're kind of looking around, you're looking at your environment. You see that there's a construction site over to the left,
Mm-hmm.
and on to your right, there's a series of small little parks, like a dog park,
Mm-hmm.
and you're looking, okay, you roll straight up creeping, and let's say you get a 9, for example.
Mm-hmm.
You could ask me, hey, what can I use here to make a crossbow? And what I
Mm-hmm.
would say in this instance is I'd say, well, if you want a classic crossbow, you could take some of the wood and kind of mold it into a crossbow. But if you wanted something really sturdy, you'd probably take some cement and other materials like steel from the construction site and
Mm.
mold that instead.
Right,
And
I
then
see.
we would talk about, do you want something more reliable? Do you want something more powerful? You get the idea.
Yeah, okay. And then I guess if I combine that with the come on, Lucky, if it's something that my small companion can handle or I can't reach but they could reach, then I could ask them to go get it for me, kind of thing.
Exactly. So let's say, for example, you chose that you wanted a wooden crossbow, and I'm just gonna, assume here, but of course, feel free to reflavor. Let's
Mm-hmm.
say that you sort of wave your right hand, and bits of the wood of the tree kind of branch off and flake off, and then in midair it kind of forms this little crossbow, and then Not Daigo, sensing that what you're doing is time for him, Not Daigo bounds over, grabs the crossbow in their teeth, runs back over, tail wagging back and forth, and goes, "Here you
Yeah.
go."
Aw, okay. I love it, and I think narratively that seems pretty fun. Yeah, I might be leaning a little bit more towards that. I do like the idea of like, oh, I have some, you know, like chances to roll better, but I think that narratively, like the straight up creeping makes me feel like um, it would give me more opportunities to. Well, I mean, I guess also depends on your GMing style. Like, do you feel that like you would just do that anyway, or do you think that it's a thing that this buff would
Um,
actually help?
I would say that if I'm doing my job right, straight up creeping is something I'm going to tell you without needing to roll.
Oh, okay.
Um, So it's just kind of one of those things where do you want the safety net there? Like, because it's a tool. Like everything in the
Mhm.
system is a tool to tell the story.
Mhm. Mhm.
Like if you get stuck in a situation, you could roll this straight up creeping,
Mhm.
and you could get an answer that might help your way forward. But it really just comes down to how confident you feel as a player in improv.
Mhm. Mhm. Okay, in that case, then I think that for the second whatever Dalmatian will
Hmm.
be like, oh, it's like I actually have to roll for this thing that I am suddenly being under fire, and so it's just a straight up switch to the better option for me.
Hmm.
So yeah, I think that's better. So it would be like the small companion and second dimension.
Okay, let
I wonder
me
what
drag
that
that onto your
means.
sheet. Let me
Like, is
see.
that a real
Domitian,
word?
I think it's one of the alien species in the default mass settings is what I think it
Oh,
is.
got it. Okay, that makes more sense.
Let's
Let's
see, and then it was come
see.
on lucky. And then what was I doing for drive? I was doing something for drive. Hold on.
Oh,
Da,
for
da, da,
drive.
da.
Let's
Yeah,
see.
because I think there's an actual like thing I can add. Here we go, drives. There we go. So it's if you look now under your playbook moves,
Okay.
you should see drives. And if you look to the right, you'll see this little pencil, like notepad looking thing.
Uh huh.
If you want to click that, and then
I
in the
see.
edit menu, bold or do something to the four drives you want,
Oh, okay.
that's how we'll mark it.
Cool. I think I want to outperform an adult hero. That sounds fun. Um, punch someone you probably shouldn't. See 15 minutes left. Drive a fantastical vehicle. That sounds fun. In the respect of a hero you admire, make out with a teammate. If depends if Nitor is gonna play. Uh, travel to an
Yeah, if
incredible.
she wants to come on, I'm happy to have guests. I'm happy to have temporary, permanent teammates. Again, I am here to facilitate your fun in this game. So whatever
Looks
you
over
need
at
to have
Nitori.
fun, let me know.
Just in case, like, want to be a guest character sometime?
Huh?
Want to be a guest character sometime?
Oh, sure.
Yay! She said
There
sure.
you go.
Then I can kiss someone dangerous. No,
What?
You want to be a villain or a teammate? Because it depends. If you're a villain, and then there's a thing here that says kiss someone dangerous, but if you want to be a teammate, then one says make out with a teammate.
Why does it look like that?
That's funny. Okay, well, I will not pick either of those just in case, but I think I could. Tell someone your true feelings for them. Wow. I think that one sounds aspirational.
Mm-hmm.
And get a new costume and get a new hero name. Those both sound good. Wait, get a new one. Do I start with one?
Yep, you get to pick your hero name.
Oh, okay. And then getting a new one is like earning a new one or evolving as a hero.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's kind of neat, but then it's aspirational. Then it's like I start off with like the junior version, and then I change into the grown-up version. Maybe get a new costume. I like that.
Okay.
Yeah. Pull off a ridiculous stunt. Okay, I want that. I like that better. Okay, so it's outperform an adult hero, pull off a ridiculous stunt, drive a fantastical vehicle, and tell someone your true feelings for them. The other one that I was looking at was travel to an incredible place or time, but I feel, well, I guess if she's like, usually in the city and, doesn't leave, kind of has a mundane job, then she wouldn't go to fantastical places or incredible places often. So maybe instead of tell someone your true feelings for them, maybe travel to an incredible place or time.
Okay.
All right. There you go. Those are the ones. I will save this. Or does it automatically save?
Yeah, you have to click the little save icon.
Save icon. In the description somewhere?
So when you are editing the things you're doing, there should be like a hard disk icon with an arrow pointing down.
I see. Okay. Save. Got it. Great. It is now updated.
And they're now bolded. Excellent.
Sweet.
All right. So the next thing we have to do is we have to copy over your stats from the Beacon playbook.
Okay.
Those are on page 91. So your danger is at a -1, your freak is at a -1, your savior is at a +2, your superior stays at 0, and your mundane goes up to +2.
-1, freak is -1, savior is +2, superior is 0, mundane is +2. So mundane. Okay.
Now the good news is you now get to add +1 to any of these.
And I'm trying to remember. Yeah. So danger is I feel like I am a danger to society. Freak is oh no, I feel like I'm a freak. Or savior is like I have a savior complex kind of thing. Superior is like oh I'm so much better than you, and mundane is oh no I'm so like boring and normal.
Yeah, and if it helps, if you take a look on the main reference, you can kind of see which of the moves use what. So for example, the moves you've taken so far kind of lead hard in the savior. You also are able to how do I want to say this? So for example, look at defend. So defending someone or something, that's a savior. If you are trying to, based on your move of suck it Dalmatian, because that's what I'm going to call it now.
Yeah.
You are now directly engaging a threat. So instead of danger, you're rolling savior.
Okay.
If you are using your powers, you're using plus freak. If you're comfort or supporting, or you're trying to pierce someone's mask, that's plus mundane. If you're assessing a situation, provoking someone, that would be superior in that aspect.
Okay. I think because savior will address both danger and savior, it's probably good to add a +1 to that.
Okay, so you'll go up to +3.
Sweet. +3. And it maxes out at +3, right?
So technically, the highest your character sheet can go is +3, but there are ways. For example, when it comes to not Daigo,
Mm-hmm.
you are able to get a further +1. So you actually can have a maximum of +4, but you yourself cannot go above a +3, if that makes any sense.
Okay, I see. So you, as your base stats, cannot go above +3, but the situation can add +1 or plus whatever
Correct.
to that roll. Okay,
Correct. Mm-hmm.
cool. Yeah, sorry, I didn't do as much research as I thought I did. I was like, oh, I read all this. I feel like I know. I read
No,
like the
you're
first 50
good.
pages.
Trust me, that's more than some players. Let me tell you that.
Oh,
That
okay.
is way more than some players do. So no, I am happy to teach. It is
Yay.
my job as a game master to make this a welcoming and open experience for you.
That's why I love playing these games with you.
Mhm.
Sweet.
So let's see. I'm trying to think else what we need to do here.
It's kind of funny to
Oh,
look forward to like failing a roll to add potential so I can see what other things I can take.
mm-hmm. And I've actually gone ahead and added that on your sheet. If you look under team moves,
Team moves.
there is all the things you can do when you fill your potential track.
Ooh. I see beacon advancement here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, cool. Yes, I see it from the book as well.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
Now, we need to settle on your character's name and your hero name.
Yeah. I mean, is it lazy to just use Yuma?
No, no, but what you probably should do is make one Yuma and then one Amui, or however you say Yuma backwards. Like,
Mayu?
there you go.
Oh, like one the hero name. Oh, hey, I mean the hero name would probably be the Iron Lion.
You know what? I like that.
Yeah. Okay. Sweet. Yeah. So Yuma Yamano, the Iron Lion.
Love it. All right, well, go ahead and add that to your sheet. Let's
Okay.
make it
Sweet.
a thing.
Hero name. The Iron Lion. Yuma's character. That's where I fill in. Yuma Yamano.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oops, can't type. And I guess
Beautiful.
I can upload a picture, or I don't have
Yeah.
one yet, but I guess I could take a
Yeah,
screenshot
well,
of.
if and
myself.
when we get one, we can always upload it in.
Oh yeah.
All right, so now we have to talk about two very important questions.
Mm-hmm.
The first question is, I know we've already talked about, if you want to bring in guests, you want to bring in super villains of the week or heroes of
Ooh.
the week, we
Yeah.
certainly can. But my question is, do you want, because we did this in the Pokemon thing as well,
Mm-hmm.
do you want there to be kind of an NPC around that you're already kind of buddy-buddy with? Or do you want to go solo, at least to start?
Uh, it would be interesting to have, I guess, kind of like an NPC that I'm buddy buddy with. Maybe one that's kind of like the reality check of like, oh, you can't do that kind of hero stuff. Like maybe somebody that she's working construction with that like also has a boring power.
Mhm.
And so like almost like a we're not that kind of super person, so you like kind of like trying to like be the one that's like kind of trying to be realistic. So I think that would be nice to have as kind of a thing that she has previously accepted, but then grows to reject, like the philosophy of, and then maybe that can become either like the relationship can develop from there of like, oh, do they also start to realize their potential, or do they, kind of reject that or kind of fall out from Yuma as like her friend because they feel like they're not going to evolve in the same way.
Right. That could be interesting. I'm
Yeah.
just scrolling through my superhero folder trying to see if I've got
Oh, cool.
any good potential art for this NPC. Let me
Yay.
see.
I just heard, I think, a sub I think someone just subbed to my channel. Thanks,
Nice.
Thanks whoever did that in the past. It's funny that
So
my
let me
sounds
ask
are still
this:
going.
man, woman, other, for your partner.
It could be a woman, another
Okay.
woman. Yeah. I'm trying to imagine like someone like relatable, almost like in the future play sessions, if they stay the way they are, then Yuma can like kind of look back on it and like compare how she used to be. Like, I can't believe I used to think that way. Or if they evolve with her, then it's like, oh, we're best buds to the end.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm gonna send you one on Discord. Let me know what you think of her.
Oh, cool. Let's see. Jump to present. Cool. Yeah, it's like similar. It's like, yeah, kind of similar, but with like redder hair. That's kind of funny.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, I was deliberately trying to think, okay, they got to be similar to Yuma. What do I got in my folder? So and of course this isn't set in stone, and this is your partner, so you get the final say here. But what I'm thinking is, you're the Iron Lion. Why don't we make her like the Crimson Tiger?
Ooh, I like that. Crimson Tiger. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And of course Crimson, because when she... And I'll probably do a little bit of more building of this when I have more time to think, but like maybe her power is like she kind of has like
heat.
Okay, let me ask this: how far are you in Dawn Trail?
Oh, I've finished Dawn Trail.
Okay, have you started the Arcadian raids?
Yeah, we've played the normal versions a couple times.
So the very first raid, Black Hat.
Yeah, the first boss, which the one with the like the side cleaves and the she breaks the floor and stuff.
Yep. So that's what Crimson Tiger's gonna do. Is she basically does that same, well, not same absorbing of souls, but she becomes animalistic like a tiger, if that makes sense.
Oh, cool. Okay. Yes, that's funny because, like, let's say, for Yuma character, like, she's already kind of lion-y. I don't know if that's true in this world, but like with
no, the beautiful thing about this world, especially if we're doing this in Halcyon City, there's aliens, there's mutants, there's science experiments, there's everything under the sun.
Perfect. So yeah, animal-y. And has just, I guess, with the ears and the fangs and the eyes and stuff, but like still like human limbs and all that. But it's kind of funny to maybe have Yuma be somebody who's like wants to be kind of more human and more of a hero of humans, and then have this side character be using that power to become more animalistic. I kind of like that as a dichotomy.
Yeah. No, cool. That's my goal, is because I want there to be a way for, not necessarily for me to guide you as the game master, but to challenge you, if that makes sense. Where it's like, yeah, you want to be the hero, but what about what's going on over here? And that's kind of the beautiful thing about masks is, again, you can do like combat after combat, but a lot of it is, hey, I'm a brand new superhero. How do I find my place in the world? How do I find myself? And it's a beautiful way to explore a lot of the themes that we see in things like, again, Teen Titans, Young Justice, the whole 9 yards.
Sweet. Awesome.
Let me see. And then the second question, very important question, is, and this is something I don't need an answer right away. You do have time to think about this. But at some point, I need a list of at least 2 adults that Yuma would trust. Now, these 2 adults can be almost anyone. This could be your construction foreman. This could be someone at the library. This could be your landlord or your roommate. Someone who you either trust or you look up to as an authority figure.
Yeah. I imagine that would be someone who, yeah, when you mentioned the construction foreman, that sounds like the kind of person to like take her and maybe the other NPC under their wing as like, hey, you kids that college dropout. Did I say that she was a college dropout? Yeah, you like college dropouts. Like you can use your powers for good by, building up construction stuff. So maybe it's like the person who lifted her up and made her and gave her the job, and like a way to get off the streets, like that kind of thing.
Love it. So let me ask this: Do you want an Arnold voice where they speak with passion and gravitas, or do you want the Sean Connery? Because I can do the Sean Connery as well.
Oh,
the authority figure. So it's I can do
both
other
are
voices
so
too, but
good.
those two are the ones that I can do the best.
I think Arnold is for this
Arnold.
because it just seems more like construction buildery.
All right, his name, let's give him a name. We'll call him Arnold. What's a good last name?
Arnold. Not a superhero last name, right? Like Arnold.
That could be any kind of
name. It could be a superhero last name. Like I feel like using the assonance from Arnold, like Arnold Carnage or something like that, or
Arnold Carnage, that's his name.
Got it. Arnold Carnage.
Now I will point out that you will have to refer to him as Mr. Carnage.
Mr. Carnage,
yes. That's metal. I love it. All right, so that's one NPC. What's another authority figure that Yuma would look up to?
Maybe trying to think of where maybe there was like a high school teacher or something that, before she graduated, and like was maybe Yuma's one of those like kids that was like, they have so much potential, but then they get to college and then they're like, oh no, college isn't for me. It's not the same as high school. So maybe there's a teacher that like was very excited to see what she became, and so I think that's pretty good. The other one I can think of is like, let's say there's like a landlord or landlady in the area who maybe like kind of like oversaw what Yuma was like growing up, like, oh, there's that girl sticking things together again, like yeah, or
why don't
maybe
we do both? I think both. We can do both.
Could do both.
So we'll say communal landlady. I think that's how you would put it. Maybe there's a better word, but let me think here. So which one do you want to be the Yuma, it's so good to see you. I remember when you were little babushka.
Oh, I love that. That's cute. There's another option, though, it sounds like.
The other option, and I'm still workshopping this one, but we go more Slavic, and we go, so, as I was telling you back from old country, where, we had superheroes, but we were not having the kind of superhero you are, but I am here to be supporting you.
Oh my gosh. Oh, I kind of like the more Slavic one. Yeah, you can develop that while we're doing this one.
Okay. Do you want the Slavic one to be the high school teacher or the landlady?
Landlady. Yeah.
Landlady. Okay.
Yeah.
Slavic. And then I'll just make, if it's okay with you, I'll just make the high school teacher the old person.
The old person? Sure.
Mhm.
Oh, I guess maybe it should be the other way around because the old person
way
sounds
around?
more like some. Yeah, let's do it the other way around because the old person, I can just imagine, like sweeping the front doorstep and like saying, "Oh, there she is again." But then the teacher could be a little bit more youthful and a little bit more sassy. So I think that's the more Slavic one.
You are calling yourself the Iron Lion? What did I tell you? You not want to be Iron Lion, you want to be Steel Lion. Steel is hard,
Steel better
is
than
good,
iron.
is good material.
It's good material. I love it. Yes, this sounds perfect.
All right, so we need a name for this high school teacher. Let me pull up fantasy name generator and let's see if we can get a good lead here.
Fantasy
Let
name.
me see. What's that gonna be under? Asia? Is that what it's be under? Yes.
Oh wow, they have like Final Fantasy 14 name generator in this fantasynamegenerator.com.
Oh, they have everything. Like
Wow.
fantasynamegenerators.com is my lifeblood as a game master. So many of my NPCs are named from this site.
Cool.
All
Let's
right,
see.
let's see. Do you want a male or a female teacher, even though I'm doing the Slavic voice?
Let's do female.
Female teacher. All right.
Yeah.
Let me just generate a few here. Nope, can't say that. Can't say that. How would you feel about my name is Ruchkino Yakanova.
Wow.
I am a teacher of physics, and might I tell you, Yuma, when we talked about physics, she was like, I don't understand. And then all of a sudden, I take 2 Lego blocks, put them together, rest history.
Can you repeat the name again? Yugoslava?
Ruchkina Yakanova.
Yakanova.
Yeah. I'll even put it in Discord for you.
Okay, yeah.
It's a bit of a mouthful.
Ruchkina Ksenia Yakovna.
Mm-hmm.
Ruchkina.
Yep.
Can we keep the last name but pick a different first name?
We certainly can.
Yeah. I like
Let's see. Let's
Yakovna.
generate a few more. Let me see. How would you feel about classic Natalia?
Natalia Yakovna. I like it. Yes.
Okay.
So I guess when Yuma knew her as a teacher, she would have been like Miss or Mrs. Yakovna. Okay. Yakovna.
The construction, Mr. Carnage, him.
Mr. Carnage.
Yeah.
I can't.
And then let me see. Communal landlady.
Landlady. Okay. Let's
Old
see.
voice. Do you have a specific nationality you'd like them to be?
Old voice. Maybe something like. What accents do you like, or do you think you can do?
I will not be doing any accents.
Just old lady. Okay, generic old lady. Okay, got it.
Yeah, generic old lady. Yeah.
Okay.
Because it's already stressing, and I mean this in a good way. It's already stressing to do the old lady voice, but to do an old lady and another voice on top of it, I'm not that good yet.
Okay, gotcha.
Working towards it, but not yet.
You're fine. You're great. How about something like, I'm trying to think of like what places would just. Oh yeah, so old lady. Maybe she's like, immigrated from somewhere. This is based in like a Earth-like, but not necessarily Earth planet?
It's basically Metropolis is what it is. It is the basically homebrewed version of Metropolis of Superman fame.
Okay. Let's say she's like a second generation Asian.
Let me pull up some names then. Do you have a preference? Korean, Chinese, Japanese, other?
Let's go Japanese.
Japanese it is. All right, let's take a gander. And we'll just generate a few names here.
Names.
Let me see.
Let's see.
So I'm going to say this wrong, and I apologize in advance. So I've generated the name Nomi Kyoko. I think that's how
Kyoko.
it's said.
Yeah, that sounds good.
I'll put it in chat.
Yeah, let's add a
another
Y
one
to
that's-
the Kyoko, and it'll be easier to say.
Right. Another one for your consideration would be Horasachi.
Horasachi. Sachi-san.
Or maybe we can combine them, make it Nomi-sachi.
Nomi-sachi. Sure. Nomi-sachi.
Okay. Nomi-sachi. Or as you would know her, probably Sachi-sama. I think is how the... Let me actually make a note of that. Sachi-sama. Got it. I'm trying to think of the right honorific, because Sama is someone you respect that's older than you.
Yeah. Well, that's like somebody who's like richer than you, like you're in servitude of them almost.
Mm-hmm.
So, I guess in the case of like Oba-san is like almost like a auntie. Yeah.
Okay, so maybe it should be Oba-san Sachi. Is what it
Sachi
sounds
Oba-san.
like.
Yeah.
Sachi Oba-san. Got it.
Yeah.
No, and I appreciate being corrected on this because I like to be inclusive, but I want to make sure I'm doing it right.
Oh yeah, no problem.
Awesome. Cool. So just to go over this list again, we've got the Crimson Tiger, or your partner. Her real name will be Elizabeth.
Okay.
And her last name will be Jackson.
Elizabeth Jackson. I love it.
Mm-hmm. And then we have as
one
of your first adults that you look up to is Mr. Carnage.
Mr. Carnage.
Who speaks like Arnold, because when you think of Arnold telling you to lift heavy beam and telling you that you need to be careful and wear your safety equipment because OSHA can't come here again. We're already over quota. So that's Arnold.
Yep.
And then we have we are having Miss Yakovna, and I am teaching you a physics, even though you are putting my physics chalkboard on ceiling. Very hard to be putting things on chalkboard when it's on ceiling, but I have got to deal with your antics. You know what? I'll deal with it. It's not a big deal.
You must stick the chalkboard on the ceiling.
and then we have, well, it's so good to see you. I'm Sachi Oba-san, and it's just such a pleasure that you keep visiting me. I'm not very important, but you make time for me, and that makes you a very special individual.
Aww, I love it. That's great. Yeah, I can almost see these characters in my brain.
That means I'm doing it right.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, one final thing, and then we're pretty much done. What is the name of your furry companion?
Oh,
Actually, I suppose they don't have to be a furry companion. They could be a lizard. They could be not any of either of those. They can be almost any little creature that you have with you.
Is it limited in terms of like flying capability, or like how it's
No, it can fly, it can teleport, it just can't do everything for you.
Okay, yeah. So maybe, is there like an animal that's like a flying dog?
A flying dog? I mean, there's Super Mutt, but that's a
flying
trying to think.
Dog fantasy animal. The never-ending story.
All I can think of is is it Jake from Adventure Time?
Oh, yeah.
All I can think of is Jake, and I don't know why that is.
Oh, because he stretches, so it looks like he can fly, kind of thing. What if it's like, kind of like a tiny chimera, what does a chimera consist of? Like which animals? It's like a snake and a
lion, and if we go by Final Fantasy, dragon.
Ooh. Does it have multiple, like it has multiple heads then, so it has multiple personalities and they're like conflicting or something?
We can go that route, or we can just say that they all have one single mind.
Oh, okay. Yeah, a little chimera is kind of cool. What other like mixed animals or like flying but furry?
Well, we can always take a page from the Avatar universe. We could give you a not a sky bison, but maybe something like a sky bear. That might be
A
interesting.
sky bear. Wait, I don't remember sky bear.
Oh no, I'm literally making it up.
Oh,
Trust
you're
me, you're
making
not
it
gonna
up.
find it. Yeah,
Oh
because
my
the
gosh,
beauty
a
of
little
Avatar
bear
is
though
you
would be
literally
so
take.
great.
Yeah, the beauty of Avatar is you literally just take two creatures and just together,
Mush them
and you've got an
together.
Avatar universe creature.
Yeah.
Um,
A
let
bear
me
sounds
think.
awesome. Lions and
Okay.
tigers and bears. Oh my.
Oh my. Well, that has to be what it is now. So,
Yeah.
tiny flying bear. All right. What is your tiny flying bear's name?
Tiny flying bear's name. Uh, Kuma. Yuma
How do
and
you spell it?
Kuma. Kuma.
Is it okay? I had it right. Awesome.
Yeah.
Tiny flying bear companion. Now, one thing I'll say is that I will attempt to make tiny flying bear noises, but sometimes my microphone does not pick it up. So if you ever hear extended silence from me, just be like, "Hey, is Kuma trying to talk to me?" I'll be like, "Yeah, I'm
Oh,
making
okay,
noises."
okay. I don't know the tiny
Yeah,
flying
the
bear.
perils of living near a naval base is unfortunately I have to use NVIDIA Broadcast to filter out the jet noise, and
Oh,
NVIDIA Broadcast does not like some of the noises that I make.
got
So
it. Yeah.
it gets picked up as background noise, which I
I
don't know whether
see.
to be insulted or happy that it's doing so.
Yeah. Discord also has the additional like filters of those things too.
Mhm.
I don't know if you have those turned on by default, but they
Oh, I
it
do.
does.
I
Yeah,
do.
it
They're all
also has
on.
those. Yeah.
Oh, they're all on. Because trust me, as much as I love the Navy, you don't want it to be bearing down on you in the middle of a hot battle, and it's like, oh, and you
Yeah.
hear nothing but the roar of the engines.
Yeah.
Um,
I did
we're
notice it a
playing
couple
masks,
times, but
not
I guess
Top
that
Gun.
it only happened like here and there. I didn't notice it for the most part.
Right. No, thankfully technology has developed where we're not playing, Top Gun. We're actually playing games now. So,
Gun. Sweet.
All right. Well, honestly, that's all we had to cover during session 0. Do you
Wow.
have any questions for me?
Hmm. I guess should I like if I guess if I develop any other like backstory ideas, then I can like just send you a message about them and ask you how
Mm-hmm.
viable it is, or
Oh, yeah.
yeah, and then I guess based on the drive, like with the first like objectives of what I do as a character be driven by the drives.
It's up to you how far you go to pursue those.
Okay.
It's something where you're not pigeonholed into only trying to do those drives. It's
Mm-hmm.
just something that if you do them, you get to mark potential, clear a condition, or take influence. And those
Right.
are 3 very powerful things.
Okay, got it. And I guess you'll develop this as the time goes on, but like, it sounds like the world is very flexible. Like it can basically be
Mhm.
whatever you want it to be, and that gives a very wide breadth of like opportunities, but also very non-specific of like what's actually happening. So I
Right.
guess like, do you have an idea of what the I don't know political situation might be, or the overarching like for example in Cyberpunk it's very clear what
Mhm.
like the world is like. It's like very established,
Mhm.
but in this one it's like, oh, it could be that aliens are currently invading, or it could be that the politics of mutants versus humans is currently a big deal with like an X-Men or something like that. But like, yeah,
Mhm.
I was wondering if you have any kind of rough
Um,
ideas.
my initial thought is we'll handle it more like Justice League.
Okay.
Simply because we actually, and this is something that's in the book, there is an organization called Aegis,
Mm.
and they are what, oh God, what was her name? The person in Justice League, Amanda Waller, that's her name.
Okay.
So there's kind of this there's kind of this organization that is paramilitary, paragovernmental,
Mm-hmm.
trying to like be that foil to superheroes kind of a thing, but also helping them at times.
Mm.
Um, but the beauty of doing it more like, say, Justice League than, say, Marvel or X-Men
Mm-hmm.
is that it means that supers are a little bit more accepted.
Mm-hmm.
Supers are a little bit less like, oh, well, I see someone special, I have to whip out my phone and record everything. And there's
Yeah,
still
yeah,
going to
yeah.
be that. Let me be clear,
Right.
there's still going to be that, but it's not going to be a race to, start a crowd, which you then have to worry about, oh, I have to
Right.
protect the crowd when I'm trying to do
Ah, yeah.
everything else.
Got it.
Um,
Yeah, so their
but
supers are more commonplace, but it's still a fantastic thing that's happening.
Correct. Yes. And again, as you said, the beautiful thing about this is that you are just as much in control about the environment and what's happening around you.
Hmm.
In fact, one of the things I'm going to do, and I'll warn you ahead of time,
Mm-hmm.
is when we start session 0, I'm going to ask you, where are you and what are you doing?
Okay, this is good to
And
know because I want to have to if I get like sprung with that like in the without any prep, I might be like, I don't know. Yeah.
But no, the beauty again of masks is you can literally do an entire session pure improv.
Sweet.
Um, and it's why I love GMing systems like this, like Avatar Legends and Masks,
Mm-hmm.
because the system enables me to just do cool things without having to worry too much of, oh, I got to roll this die, and I got to roll
Mm-hmm.
that die, and I got to do this mechanic. I
Yeah.
can just do them as the game master.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And
Cool.
then the people can like say crazy stuff like, "Oh, would I be able like yeah, like being able to build whatever using the things around me, or like I guess if somebody could like I don't know read minds or teleport or generate electricity, then they'd just be able to say like I just do that, and
Mhm.
how do I do that?
Yep.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Oh, there is one last thing before I release you for the evening.
Sure.
Your Foundry's probably going to reload, so don't freak out.
Okie dokie.
Yep, it's reloading for me, so it's probably reloading for you.
Okay. It is
As soon as
downloading
it
world
finishes
data.
loading, you can do it, Forge. I believe in you. Okay. So, what that did is if you look at the little left-hand top left thing, there's now a
Uh-huh.
little speech bubble with an X in it.
Yes.
And I want you to go ahead and click that now. This is what is known as the X card.
Sure.
And what this means is, and this is mostly for anybody who doesn't know, the X card means that we strayed into territory that Yuma is not comfortable with, or that
Oh.
somebody else playing is not comfortable with.
Okay.
And it's not a bad thing. In fact, if at any point something is straying into something you don't want to explore or it's hitting too close to home, play the X card. I'll see it immediately and we can readjust.
Oh, okay.
And one of the things is this is an important safety tool to have in a game where you're not face to face. You need to have a way to very quickly communicate, hey, I need a minute. Because again, we're playing over the internet. I can't literally see Yuma at the moment to read her body language and see if she's uncomfortable.
Got it.
And it's also something where, I've played with you, Yuma. I kind of know what your limits are.
Yeah.
But sometimes, especially when it comes to, in the middle of a battle, maybe something gets too close to home, and that's
Yeah.
okay.
I appreciate
So
that.
I do want
That's
to.
such a good, yeah. It's a very good
Yeah.
communication tool.
Exactly. And it's something I wish more GMs would enable in their game, but I can't force GMs to do anything because I am one person.
Yeah. But at least for your own games, you can, practice the more welcoming and player-friendly approaches.
Do you have any final questions before we sign off for the evening?
No, I think that I'm in a good spot. I'm very excited to get started. I'm excited to see how Yuma interacts with these NPCs and also, grow as a master builder. I'm not gonna call it that, but maybe. Yeah. But yeah,
Awesome.
I'm curious to see where the improv takes us. So that's what I'm mostly excited for.
Love it. Love it. All right. Well, anybody watching this on YouTube, thanks for tuning in. Yuma, do you have anything to say before we sign off?
No, thanks everybody. I hope that we catch you at the first session, which will be definitely soon because that's when this will come out.